things to do. I'm busy.
Are you busy? When was the last time you were single?
40-some years ago.
Wasn't that attractive and was still a dick?
How someone looks is absolutely not related at all to the person inside.
Oh, yeah.
This is the You Need to Listen podcast. You need to listen. It's an instruction. And by the way, thanks to all of you who watched on YouTube. One place you can watch this great podcast.
Watch our video podcast.
Video podcast.
YouTube.
4,000 views as of today, which is sort of amazing.
It helped that we were talking about Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce.
Oh, is that what you think it was? It wasn't our great charm and wits?
I'm just saying,
Snark.
Since between 2 weeks ago and this week, there's been a fair amount of news for those two people.
And we smartly capitalized on that story to get 4,000. And that's just now. And by the time this airs, it might be 8,000. And this podcast is catching on. And again, it's both instructional and informative and educational and what else? Entertaining. All of those things.
Well, I hope this one's going to be entertaining.
Yeah. So set it up for us.
All right. So it's been a while. When was the last time you were single?
40-some years ago.
But
almost older than you.
You have friends who are single.
Longer than you. We're not alive.
You have friends who.
Oh, yeah, I do, yeah.
Of older, your age.
I have friends, believe it or not, I have friends who are remarried and have young children.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Which is insane to me. But.
I've been married for 3 years, in the same relationship for 5, have friends who are still single. So neither of us are in the current place of being in the dating pool.
But we have thoughts.
And we have friends who are.
Mm-hmm.
So I was unaware of this new dating term. Mm-hmm. But it piqued my interest for a lot of reasons. So, all right, so there's a new dating trend, and experts say it needs to go far, far away.
Oh, you did that on purpose, didn't you?
Shrekking. Have you heard of this?
Only in the sense that you said, let's talk about it.
Right,
but before that, no.
Shrek?
Yeah, of course.
Okay.
Yeah, the ogre who gets the princess, basically.
The ogre who gets the princess. It's a, yes. So it obviously derives from the animated film, but I guess in reality, there's another part of it that because in the film, they fall in love, and you think that Shrek's going to turn into a handsome prince, but in reality, Fiona turns into an ogre.
Why do you think they did that? Why was that?
In the fairy tale in its head.
I would kind of wish they were both pretty. But my
very superficial of you. I think you missed the point of the
I'm going to make a point about superficiality in a second here as you launch into this Shrekking thing.
Okay, but when in the term that's being used today, it's when you lower your standards. So you date someone who you're not necessarily physically attracted to, thinking that if you date like an ugly dude, they're going to treat you better. But then in the end, they still hurt you. So then you say, I got Shreked. So basically, I lowered my standards only to date a guy who wasn't that attractive and was still a dick. I don't know if it's unclear if this is only women talking about men or if men are also saying, I got Shreked. I just don't see men lowering their standards as often because I think men biologically are more in tune with physicality versus I think women can find men attractive who are not necessarily objectively attractive because of their personality.
There's a lot to unpack.
There. Where do you want to go?
God.
Where do you want to go?
So, like genetically and going back to our ancient roots, is attractiveness sort of the first indication of a connection?
Of mating?
Absolutely,
Yeah.
absolutely. Because that's.
I wrote a whole paper on this in college.
Did you?
Is the evolutionary biology of attractiveness, and there's all these studies that have been done as far as for women, like it's a lot of it tied back to testosterone and estrogen levels.
Yeah, I believe in the science of it, and as someone who dated a lot in college, I believe that stuff. Yeah.
Fertility. A lot of it's also
just
like
natural
signs of fertility.
Attraction. I think that in any species, that's going to be the thing. Here's what drives me nuts about this stuff. I try to be not shallow or not, simplistic in how I approach everything in life. And I'm not dating, so obviously I'm removed from this sample. But I've had enough conversations with women of every age and level of attractiveness that I realized maybe later in life that how someone looks is absolutely not related at all to the person inside. That beautiful skin or that great complexion or that great hair or that great freaking body. None of that matters. And frankly, and maybe this is an older person saying, the level of attraction to someone who's smart, funny, can hold a conversation, way more interested in that if I was in the current dating pool.
But I think, so that's that, how do I want to take this? So I think that is part of the point. Like, I have given advice, which is hard to give, but like when you have friends who are single who really want to be in a relationship, but their standards, or what they're attracted to, I should say. It's not standards, but it's like you can't really control who you're attracted to. In the same way we say you can't control if you're gay or straight or like that, like just the gender of someone.
Something inside you just driving that boat.
There's, sometimes that person just doesn't do it for you.
Yeah.
What's the peach? There's a peach quote that was like, you can be the sweetest, ripest, juiciest peach in the world, and you're going to run into people who just don't like peaches. And like, doesn't mean it's like you. It's just like, I'm not into peaches.
But isn't this driven more about women now?
So I'm saying this as far as having girlfriends who really want to be in a relationship, but what they're attracted to is a certain physique, a certain height that is a lower and lower percentage of the male available population. And so you want to say, be a little bit more open-minded.
Mm-hmm.
As far as there could be really nice, great guys out there who are not as tall. Maybe they're going to be shorter than you. But it's also hard as someone who's in like a good, happy marriage to someone who is taller than me, hard to give the advice of date someone that you're not attracted to. Because ultimately, even though I would say in the long run, and I'm sure you don't have to comment on this, you don't want to, but like the longer you're married to someone, the less the physical intimacy is the main driver of the relationship.
I would
versus
agree with that, but
the
it
emotional
doesn't go
intimacy.
away.
No, I'm not saying it goes away, but as far as the well-roundedness of your relationship, it's going to be a lot more than just the lust and like sex at the beginning.
It's all front-loaded physical when you're first meeting someone. That's getting nature.
I mean, I'm 5 years in, and sorry, Mike.
How about that?
But you know what I mean? It's like I spend every day with you, and
but even then, there's moments like, get the F away from me. Like, seriously, for both sexes. Like, no, not interested. Frankly, I'm pissed off at you, or I'm not thinking about that, or that's a reality for relationships. I'm just intrigued by this. I'm only going to go by what I know when we approach this subject. Women I know on social media who are single, and the things they say about the men or their travails in finding a man, it's always like they're looking for some like 6'3" guy, thin, has a great job, great benefits. Like your sample size is small.
So there's this it's so unrealistic, and it's setting so many women up for failure. But apparently there's a 666 dating rule. No, it is not satanic. It is
that's good.
It is a superficial criteria for a male partner. So it's over 6 feet tall, or 6 feet and taller, has a six-pack, which, first of all,
most men don't have.
No. And earn over six figures.
That's more common now, yeah.
It's more common now. I mean, but also there's still the median and average wages
depending
in the country.
What age you're talking about. Young people, no. Starting wages, $60,000 maybe?
Yeah. So I mean, but just the way you're setting yourself up for failure. I remember my brother's, he found some app that was using the statistics from like Bureau of Labor Statistics. Thank you, that one. And so you, as a woman, you would type in your criteria, like never been married, height, weight, like or earnings, like the stuff that they would actually have access to, and to put that in and then give you the number of the population in America
that fits that.
And it's like for some like over 6 foot, over six figures. I don't know if they measure six packs, but it's like 2%, 1%, 0.5%, depending on where you're putting it. So you're setting yourself up for failure. So I do think you need to be more open-minded, but you can't go into the relationship being like, well, I'm not attracted to this person. Like, you have to let the attraction build through their personality.
Exactly. Let me ask you a couple of things.
Okay.
Do you think women are becoming just as superficial as men have always been?
Just as? No. More so? Yes.
Yeah. Do you think it's unrealistic for women, and I think I already know the answer to this, to sort of have this standard? Because I'll be honest, I dated a lot of different kinds of women, and as a young adult when I was still in the dating pool, and they were all types. I didn't like restrict myself to one standard: tall, short, thin, more normal size. Like, I didn't have like a standard, so maybe I'm.
Do you ever date anyone who wasn't white?
No, no.
Different time.
You?
Very surprised I ended up with a white guy.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's a nice, I love the diversity of that answer. That's awesome. But I just think that as the genders sort of try to, and this is always an ongoing equation, try to figure each other out, I think women now, and this is just an old man assessment as a 66-year-old white male, are becoming much like men have always been in how they choose their partners, what they think about dating, how they approach dating, the things they like to do in life. I think it's becoming very close. For us, it was going to hang out at the bar and meeting girls there and getting drunk and going home with women that you knew for a night. I don't know if that's still a thing.
That still happens. Well,
It was,
it
it
still
was a
happens.
different era.
I don't
but
know. The stats say that Gen Z is having like the least amount of sex any
Why
generation's
is
ever
that,
had.
do you think?
I don't know. They're on the phones and not
Phone's not,
fornicating.
I'll be honest, speaking for myself, phone's not the same thing. I mean, come on. You got to admit
No,
that.
I'm just saying they're not out necessarily meeting people. And so-
This is where I should wink to the audience. You know what I'm talking about.
But yeah, I think there's different theories as to why Gen Z's having less sex. But they're not drinking, they're not having sex, they're not partying as much. Like Gen Z, as much as Gen Z gives millennials shit all the time, they sound way more lame. Millennials were fun.
Every generation has their own lameness.
There's so much clubbing that happened. It was great.
So Shrekking, though, if I'm defining it right by the story that you shared with me, it's when you are disappointed with your settling.
Ultimately, the relationship, it doesn't end up like Shrek, where you guys end up together and you're like, oh, this was a happy ending because, like I opened my mind and I didn't follow the 666 rule. Like it was like, oh, I really fell in love with their personality regardless of what they looked like. I guess in the term and how it's being used now is I don't find them attractive and they screwed me over.
But the optimist in me wants to believe that they are, in some cases, finding this, that their standard was essentially superficial, and they are discovering relationships that are actually better than they would have been with this, fancy, fake, nice-looking guy. Don't you think? That's like anti-Shrekking then, right? So you pick the sort of the average-looking guy, but he turns out to be a prince in real life. You think that happens?
I mean, I definitely think it happens, but
Yeah.
it's more of...
But shouldn't we encourage that?
I think we should encourage people to be open-minded. But I don't know, because a lot of there's a couple different articles I read about this. It's like you can't. So it implies daters should be able to predict how a potential partner will treat them based on what that person looks like.
My theory in life
Which I think is false, because we know plenty of look at most guys who comment on celebrity women's profiles and how ugly they are. Just because you're ugly doesn't mean you're going to be nice.
All right, adult language alert.
Oh.
The better looking, this is not absolute, but generally, my experience knowing guys, just meeting them, working with them, the better looking they are, the bigger chances are they're an asshole. Almost exclusively, always assholes, because they have that confidence that goes with being good looking, taller generally. They just carry that around with them. It's not exclusive, it's not absolute, because I know plenty of guys that are tall and good looking that are nice guys. The inclination is to be an asshole in life to everybody,
They're much
including
less
women.
likely to be funny, I will say that.
Yeah. I feel like humor is the arena.
Sometimes hot
of
girls
short
aren't
men.
necessarily always funny either.
Well, Nikki Glazer's funny. She's sort of hot. You find Nikki Glazer hot?
I think she has had a fair amount of work done that looks really good. No, I'm just saying. I think if she didn't have the money, she wouldn't look like what she looks like now. But yes, I do think when you see pictures of her now, she looks great. But I think you can buy beauty.
Hashtag Nikki Glazer. If she's watching, you're hot.
I think she's talked about it though.
Our show?
She's very funny. I will say that she's
very
very, very funny.
Where do you think this is going? I think did you just wink at me?
No, I don't know where this is going.
I think when you this just drives me nuts. I know, again, because I'm older, that how one looks has nothing to do really with anything about their.
You just said it has to do with whether or not they're an asshole.
That's just a generalization.
But you were talking about trends, and I think that's the thing. Is sometimes you're like, you can get an instinct on what a person might be like.
I'll give you another extreme example. This is a theory I've had for life. It's all anecdotal, no evidence, no research whatsoever. The bigger and grander the proposal, the less likelihood the marriage survives.
Or I always heard it was the wedding.
Any of that stuff. You're wasting it all on the wrong shit. You are going to do all this stuff, spend all this money. Your poor parents, if they're paying for it, they're going to spend it. I once went to a wedding, I'm not going to say who it is, where most of the people at the wedding already knew that the husband, groom, was having an affair and had an affair.
Yikes.
Well before the wedding. They had the wedding, and how long do you think
was
that
the wedding
lasted?
just like a huge ordeal?
Awkwardness.
No, I'm saying like were they spending lots of money?
Oh my God, downtown Milwaukee, you kidding me?
It's probably why they couldn't cancel the wedding.
Yeah.
Which is
You
kind
show
of
me a guy
terrible.
you show me a young man that drives a Corvette, I'll show you a guy that has mental health issues. Honest to God. That's
Are
like
Corvettes expensive?
like $100,000 plus.
Really?
Oh,
Corvettes?
Yeah. Yes.
I don't know anything about
You know,
cars.
you're not a. We won't be doing any podcasts on cars or vehicles of any kind.
No.
Because we could talk about Teslas forever.
You could just teach me stuff.
I'm not a. I mean, I drive a Jeep, which I love, but. And did you know it's a hybrid? How about that? How about me? When's the last time you stretched your horizons, Kristin Brey? What'd you stretch on?
I stretch on things all the time.
Like what? Give me an example. No, I'm thinking about it.
Well, what do you mean? Like as far as
for me, for someone who's like traditionalist and older, and I am driving a Jeep hybrid. I'm plugging that sucker in every night.
Yeah, but that's because it also helps your bottom line because you're not spending as much money on gas.
I'm told that boomers have unlimited money. They don't have to worry about this
I'm
stuff.
pretty sure you have a lot more money than I do.
I'm older than you. I saved.
You also lived at a very different time than I do.
I did. So what do
you think I'll have as much money as you when I'm 66?
I hope you do.
I hope I do too.
Here's a cool thing about
I
me.
hope I can travel.
I don't have to
6
work.
weeks
I
out of the
love
year.
to work and do podcasts and shows because I enjoy it, not because I have to do it.
All right, let's go back to the topic.
All right, Shrekking.
Do you agree that people should be that it's not a bad thing to necessarily date people who, on first glance, have you watched Love Is Blind?
I said I wasn't going to say this, but fuck no, I hate reality shows. Are you serious? You asked me that question?
I don't ever. I had to watch it because I was on the trip with my guy friends and they watched the show, so I got invested in this UK one.
No,
but
that's
you know the
stupid.
premise of the show,
Yes,
right?
you
And
hide their
and
identities.
you hide their
Yeah.
identities, and then you fall in love with a personality, and then hopefully you still like each other.
then
Now, I think the hit rate or the success rate of people who have said yes at the end, and if they're still together, I don't know the number for sure. I don't think it's very high, but it's also. For a lot of reasons, I think that's
Can
true.
I ask a question about that? So, since I haven't watched, I know the concept. I've seen like little snippets. Do they actually have sex? As
They don't show.
But do they have sex as not
think it's
without
kind of-
knowing in the dark or whatever? Do they do that?
No.
Because if
How would that work?
here, I don't know. You'd have to have a very dark room with no windows. But if you did that, you would have two people who, despite their looks, may be blown away by the sexual experience they had with a person they
You
had.
would feel what they feel like. Like you could tell how
Which
tall
could be
they were.
awesome. Which would tell you, as a consumer of sex, as we all are, most of us, not all of us. It's hard to press to find a nun that's having sex out
What
there.
does a consumer of sex mean?
Having sex
Okay,
on a semi-regular basis.
I don't think
We would tell you
consumers
that
have heard that you
regardless
want.
of body type, some good sex is being having out there. Yes, that's the reality. So if you could somehow package that where you don't see the person, but you're still having
Amazing
mind-blowing
sex.
sex, maybe that would shatter this.
But we also just said that sex only has it's the bell curve of sex is very the curve is very early on in the relationship.
I feel like the first few minutes is that. The rest is you got to earn it.
So it still comes back to, I think, the actual compatibility and what do you have to talk about? What are you going to do on a random Wednesday with this person as far as your what you want to have your life look like and your compatibility? That doesn't have to do with sex necessarily and doesn't have to do with looks, but we're not wired to look for those things in dating.
What if I said this? Average-looking people are probably smarter, better informed, and more fun.
How do you measure that?
I'm not. It's just me saying it. Totally just saying it. I believe it, though.
I do. Were you a 30 Rock fan?
Yeah, I love the show. Great writing.
Did you watch the show where John Hamm was like the doctor?
Yeah.
And it's just everything's only been handed to him in life because he's so good looking. It's he doesn't actually know how to save anyone's life.
Yeah, well, that's all still the case with John Hamm because that's his MO.
He was a good actor.
He's a good actor.
He was good on Mad Men.
And also self-deprecating, so we should
Very
give him
self-deprecating.
that. Yeah.
Very big Bad Bunny fan. Did you know that?
Yeah. Also, no, who I've
Also has apparently a very big dick.
Okay. So we just added that to the podcast. Hashtag Big Dick. You said Bad Bunny, right? Yeah. I've also discovered that Bad Bunny, great actor. He did some acting recently.
He was in Happy Gilmore too. He was great.
And his music's pretty cool. I would argue, though, and totally getting away from our
Topic.
why the fuck would you name yourself Bad Bunny? What is that
That's not his
about?
actual name.
I know it is, but that's when you meet him, you go, "Hi, Bad
No,
Bunny."
I think it's
is
Benito.
it Joe or
It's
like
Benito.
David or what is his name?
Pretty sure it's Benito. He's Puerto Rican.
I just wouldn't walk around with a Bad Bunny label.
Hey, do you understand any rappers' names? Or
I don't get any of it. Rappers, for some reason, when you sign up to rapper school, all right, your name is David Winston Smith. You're going to be, I don't know, pick something. Crazy ass name.
Ice-T?
Ice-T.
Cube?
Yeah.
Snoop Dogg?
Why? How is that better than your David Winston Smith? Sounds got a nice ring to it.
Not for a rap song.
Ladies and gentlemen,
It sounds like someone's going to come out and play piano
David
and take
Winston
requests.
Smith. Boom, boom. Banging. Guy next to me, I was driving to work today.
Is that your rap?
Banging on a rap song. It's 59 degrees. Driving past the airport. I'm got air conditioning on, even though it's 59. I'm listening to probably Howard Stern or something from like last year because he's not doing any live shows. This guy's got every window open. Got to be like the highest level of audio they could play in his car. Just blasting. Like, what is that about?
I don't know. That's a different topic for a different day.
It just shows you, though, that the rap thing is crazy to me. I don't understand it.
All right.
Bad Bunny, don't get it.
Do you have any closing thoughts on dating and Shrekking?
I've got a few. So, will you give me that I'm more experienced, not in the dating part, just in life? Having lived 66 years on this planet.
I think I've had more serious relationships than you have.
Oh, yeah, probably. I had no serious relationship.
Yeah, and then, yeah.
I mean,
So I think
define serious, and we all define it a different way.
I mean, I've had multiple 3+ year relationships before I met Mike.
I was just going to take it in a dark way, but I self-edited myself. When you said multiple, I'm like, wow.
No, not at the same time.
But I'm not doing that.
Polyamory, different topic, different show.
Different thing. What was the question? Yeah.
Your closing thoughts.
Oh, yeah.
You agree. Yes, you have more life experience than I have. Just purely
but I do agree
from
you have more like real serious dating experiences because I had a lot of experiences, but they weren't serious. When I brought Kathy home,
you had a lot of sex.
Well, maybe. Take it for what you want. I went to Daytona Beach for spring break 4 straight years, so I'll let you answer that on your own.
In the 70s.
Kathy was the first girl that I took home.
It's before the AIDS epidemic.
It was before all of that. How I am not the father of children in South Carolina and California and Florida, I have no idea. So,
I mean, maybe you are.
I went into this episode saying I'm not going to swear. I'm not going to like out myself.
This is maybe the dirtiest episode we've done so far.
Damn it! I didn't do any of the things I wanted to accomplish. So this is one of your topics, so that it just gets like,
off
nuts,
the rails,
which I think people like. I mean, we had 4,000 listens as of today on YouTube on our last one. So this one will be probably, especially if you hashtag Nikki Glazer, hashtag orgasm, hashtag
big
whatever,
dick.
Big dick. We share this with our office teammates.
I know.
I love the fact that because we get comments like, oh my, like, I didn't know you guys swore. I didn't know you guys said stuff like that.
Yeah.
So that's sort of enlightening
We're
for
just
all of
topping
that.
ourselves. Ooh.
Yeah. But if you ask if I want to bring it back home, Shrekking, here's what I'll say. This is my message, like a serious message. Man, look past the looks.
Date for personality.
Yeah. I mean, there's so many cool people. And, on a serious tone, there's a lot of people who deserve a relationship that don't get them because they're maybe not attractive. But, God, there's a lot of people that have a lot of skill sets beyond how they look.
I will also say this. My advice is also, like, remember what you're bringing to the relationship. I think sometimes people get very caught up in the criteria of what they want.
Yeah.
But also remember, like, how are you showing up to be a desirable partner? Not just in how you look, but as a reliable, trustworthy, thoughtful person. And so it's like what you want, you also have to be willing to give.
Yeah, that being said, I mean, if you're a guy, don't show up like you with the sweatpants on and you haven't shaven for a week and you probably haven't taken a shower. That's not a good look for anybody. No. So clean up the act a little bit. How one smells may be just as important as
pheromones.
Yeah. So I mean, don't sleep on that one. And how hard is it to take a shower? I mean, Jesus, you take a shower and I got 18 jets hitting you at your parents' remodeled bathroom.
What kind of shower do you have? This is that boomer money we were talking about.
It's that boomer money. Multiple jets hitting you. You're cleaner than you ever been
Kohler extravaganza.
Yeah. Don't sleep on it.
All right. This has been the You Need to Listen podcast, episode 16.
Contact us
at kbrey@goodkarmabrands.com.
For me, it's Steve.Scaffidi. 2 F's, 1 D, not the opposite, like you always say, at WTMJ.com. I love doing this podcast. Let us know what you think. Send us some ideas.
Yep.
We've taken a very, very superficial and nasty term when it comes to language lately. We'll have to try to clean that up.
That's fine.
Let's do it on religion next time. We did the Pope one, parsing the Pope.
What do you want to talk about with religion?
I don't know. Should priests get married?
Yes.
Put me in the yes column on that one, by the way. As a former altar boy, absolutely. Let these guys have some fun.
Well, no. Let them have companionship.
And fun of the sex variety. Hashtag, I'm not going to say it because I'll get complaints. All right, just leave it at that. You need to listen.